Hey guys, Morezy here. Welcome to episode number 1 of Custom Creations. It's a new series where we look at suggestions made by you guys in the comments and build something that you request. Today's episode we're going to be showing this item sorter and retrieval system that was requested by Patrick Yeadon. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And this design, he wanted something similar to what Etho was doing with his Nexus project. So I thought I would go ahead and make one of these. Now, initially I decided to do 3 creations per episode. However, at the moment we are running a little bit low on ideas, so the more we get, the more we'll be able to do. So for this episode we're just going to be focusing on this particular one. I do have a couple more to do later on. So let's get right in and have a test here. So this is an expandable design. We've got, what is it, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 20, 32, 64 items, available items in there at the moment. And what we can do here is these are our little chutes that we throw down the items we want to select. Now all you need is to have one of the items that you want. So if we throw down a snowball, comparator, redstone and a redstone torch, they will shoot across the top there, as you can see, and go through the circuit. Now at the moment we've got a few controls here. We've got it set to retrieval at the moment, and we've got it set to purge stream. Purge stream will actually remove any items that don't fit in the sorting system. For example, I don't have a jungle sapling in the system, so when it goes around it will purge it out and it will end up in this chest here for pickup. The purge item will always, the purge stream will also remove excess items if you want it to, or you can actually set it to a looping mode where it will just keep circulating. So let's set that to looping now. Alright, now we've got our selections made. All we need to do is go over to this wall and select what amount we want. So pressing this button will give you 5. This will give you a stack of 64. In the case of the snowball, it will give us 64 snowballs. This is a user defined amount where you flick it on and flick it off when you decided you've had enough. But today we're just going to do 5. So we'll hit 5 and very quickly out will come 5 of each of the items that we picked, as you can see. Okay, so we're done getting our redstone pieces. Now we want to get some building blocks. The first thing we need to do is go to the reset button, and that will reset our item selection. And then we throw in the item we want, so let's throw in that. And in this instance we might get a stack of them, so 64. We'll wait for that to circulate. Won't take very long. Goes down there, around the corner and back up the other side. Okay, that should be about right. Now we'll press the button for the stack, and that will immediately start dispensing those pieces of stone, which will pop up in the middle here. Like that. Okay. There we go. There's a stack of stone. Now if we want to sort this back in again, we can set this to sort mode. That is essentially like a hard reset, so it stays reset. Then we can throw the stack back in. That will be circulated around, and it will end up back in the chest where it needs to be for the stone for next time. Okay, some other options we've got is we have what's called a user defined setting. So user defined would be we select the number of items that we want just based on how many we currently have. So let's do that with some redstone torches, for example. So what we need to do here now is set it to retrieval mode, and we'll just reset this as well. Throw the torch in, and once the torch circulates through the system, we can see it shoot off there now. We can do it this way. We can stand exactly here where we are, and when we're ready, the system should be about ready now, we'll flick the lever and that will begin dispensing immediately, and when we feel we've got enough items, then we can disable it, and then we just get the rest that are left over, and there we go. Throw them back in, set it to sort mode, and that will fill back up again. Okay, let's take a quick look at how some of this works. So initially when we throw it into the little bits of water here, they get sent down into an item elevator, and the item elevator just puts them up into this stream. The stream travels all the way around on ice and is in a complete circuit. So if we throw in this diamond, that will go along the stream, and I know that the diamond hopper is right here, and if we watch carefully, when the diamond reaches that hopper, the piston extends, which is sort of like a memory cell. So now that is an on signal, and when we press one of the buttons, we've got a small little clock around the side here, a comparator clock which runs all the way down, and any of these things that are turned on will receive a pulse. In this case, it's just the diamond section that receives a pulse. The pulse continues down and into a hopper and into a dropper here, which shoots it into another stream that goes into another item elevator, which pops everything up through the floor. So let's have a quick go here, see if we can get a stack of diamonds out. So we can see the signals coming through, making it through that block, and as you can see, all the diamonds are popping out into the stream where they're fed up through the floor. And there we go. So there's your stack of diamonds. Now it's important to note that because this is a memory system, you need to clear the memory. So at the moment, diamonds are still selected, so if we pressed another button in there, we'd get more diamonds. So to stop that happening, that's what the reset button is for, and when we press the reset button, it sends a signal to all the pistons at the bottom, which will reset the memory cells, just like that, and now none of the items there will get selected. So here is the purging system. Purging system is just a little hopper on the corner here, and when we turn the hopper on, it will not pick up any items, and when we turn it off, it will, and as soon as an item gets to here, it's done the full circle, so we know that it's either too many items or the item doesn't have a home. And in that case, they get sent down this little hopper line into the chest at the bottom for collection later. Now, another thing we can demonstrate here is how it behaves to multiple stacks. That is why we have to change the setting here to looping. So with looping here, and we might also show the sorting method. We'll go to sorting, and if we go up to the top here again, we can see that in sorting mode, all these pistons on the bottom are extended, which means these ones here cannot fire, which means we have no risk of accidentally saving an item that we didn't want to save. Now in this mode, we've got retrieval is off, and we've got purging is off. So if we throw in, let's throw in 2 stacks of diamonds. The diamonds will shoot around the corner here, run along the edge of the hoppers, all the way to the end here, and back along. Now this first stack will actually get picked up, but we have leftovers. The leftovers get cycled back through the system again, and they'll just keep going until all of the items are picked up. You can see here now, there's one at the front got picked up, and we've just got a couple left. And if you wanted to, you could actually set the purge switch on, and you could pick up any excess items that you didn't want to sort in. So if we flicked that and there was some left, they would actually wind up in this chest. Okay, let's take a little look at how these cells work. So basically what we've got is a standard hopper sorting system. We've got buttons in there, so if you wanted to sort buttons, you'd have to use something else like swords or something like that, but then you may have to also tweak this wiring to make it a bit longer. But what we've got is we've got 21 buttons, and then we've got one of the item we want to sort, and that goes for all of these different hoppers. And what that does is it powers the first line only, and when we actually get extra items in, it powers the second line, which extends this piston. That turns the memory cell to true, and when it's true, it can access the power from this line. Now it does another thing here, it actually draws the power down into this section which powers this torch, which actually enables this hopper to start sucking some of the items out. So that's how we actually use the sorting method. Then it just filters down through these hoppers down into the dropper at the bottom, and the dropper at the bottom is what always holds the most of the items. When it fills up, it just backs up the system and it will go into the chest, all the way up until you get to here. And if it gets up to this area, then you're doing pretty well for all your resources and you might have to clean it out. Alright, so then that's how that one works. Now that that's set like that, we can use our quantity selection system here. Hit the 5 and 5 of those pop up. And then if we want to do a reset, we just hit the reset button over here. And again, that piston is reset. So some of the mechanics with the water stream, of course we've got an item elevator here which is pretty straightforward. It's just a 3x3 lot of blocks with a fence post here and another fence post in the back, making sure that you've got ice under that fence post and 2 bits of glass where I have them now. You can see I've got my sorting squid in there as well. Then once it gets up to here, it's just a matter of water streams going around on top of ice. This part here is the important part. 2 ender chests to align the objects right on the edge of the ice and the hoppers. That way the hoppers can pick it up while it still gets the speed effect from getting thrown down the ice. Just like that. Now that one there was out of alignment because we didn't set it up initially. And that's what this corner does. So when it turns the corner, it will align itself again and fires all the way up and around the system again. Okay, so this is very much an end game build, but certainly is expandable as well. Now I've used quite a bit of resources in here, I can't tell you how many, but this is only for 64 items. Of course, if you wanted to cover all your items, you'd have to build this a few other times. Now you could do one of 2 things. You could actually increase the length of this and make it longer, or you could expand it out into different modules, and maybe in each module you'll have a different type of item. So maybe this is all just building blocks. You have another wing that goes out that's all just redstone and all just food and things like that. But that's just one way you can set it up. The other thing you could do is you could put item frames on all these to determine which chest is which, or you could even use the memory system to detect which item you need. So you could actually use a memory system here similar to this and turn on a light above the chest when you throw an item into the little hole there. So there's a few things you could do with this, but yeah, pretty cool I think. And it's not too difficult to build. Each of these is just a repeating pattern of 2. So we've just got these staggered so they don't interfere, and we've just got all these pistons set up here. So each row of 2 would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 repeaters, 7 repeaters, and 2 comparators, and 5 or 6 hoppers each row. And then it's just a tileable version. Now I've got a little break here. I just broke where I put my signs for the water. However, it will still work if you want to keep going all the way across. The only thing you'll have to take note of is this line here, which is your power line, and this line here, which is your reset line. They'll both need to be carried on through the signal all the way down. So it's a good idea to have a break at some point to put a repeater in. But yeah, that's about it. So this is one of the first versions of this machine that I did. I actually did this on my live stream, and it basically shows the same sort of idea. You've got the water streams and this was the gate here. So then the gate would be powered through there, which would go through to the hoppers. Luckily I managed to make it 1 wide, which means you can stack them all very close together with no interference whatsoever, and that is pretty cool. Okay, well I'm sure a lot of you are pretty keen to have a go of this, so I will provide the download link in the description for you to download it and have a play. There is a little bit of lag when it generates and does its thing, but as you can see it's actually not too bad at the moment. When it's not running, it's not too bad at all. Of course, as you know, when you have a lot of hoppers, that does create some amount of lag, but that is like all big storage systems. Generally, they will create quite a bit of lag. Now, this one here I actually like so much, I'll probably be making it in my single player world, and that should be really cool. But certainly download it and feel free to have a play and see what you think. I've got the first 2 rows of blocks in there at the moment, and I've got some selected redstone items, a couple of rails, and I've also got the clay, all the types of clay. I've also got a bunch of different bits of food, but you could certainly have a play and see how you go. And of course, have a go at expanding it, making it bigger, because that would be the next step, of course. Alright guys, so that is it for the first episode of Custom Creations. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed making it, and thank you to Patrick for requesting. And I know there was a couple of thumbs up there as well, so good on you guys as well. So the only thing left to say is make sure you leave comments in the video to say anything you need made, and I'll be picking more of those suggestions out to make for the future episodes. The more we can get, the better, so doesn't matter how small they are or how simple you think they are, chuck them in, because I might end up building them in a cool way. And of course, the other thing is we've got a big live stream event on the 6th of December, which is the dragon kill for my single player world. If you're interested in coming to watch me kill the dragon, I'm going to be using a potato and having a bit of fun. That is on the 6th of December, which is a Saturday here in Australia, and that will be 7 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time, and will run for a couple hours probably. Be nice to see a few new faces come and check it out. We've got quite a regular crew at the moment, and that would be really cool. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a suggestion in the comments for something you want to see built, and any questions or anything you have that need answering, just chuck them in there as well. And also download the world and have a play, see what you think. Alright, thanks guys, we'll see you again next time.